Epstein scandal. More than 3 million documents released in the United States. Names of influential figures emerge in the files, with Donald Trump mentioned hundreds of times. Details of Epstein's death in custody and his mental health records made public. New questions raised over transparency, with the possibility of further investigations growing stronger. Distinguished viewers, in this report, we present one of the most important and widely discussed developments in the United States. To clearly understand the full context and all related information, we invite you to watch the video until the end. For reliable international news and in-depth analyses, please subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts in the comments. The long-awaited release of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, one of the most widely discussed and controversial cases in U.S. history, has finally taken place. Nearly 3 million pages of documents, along with approximately 180,000 images and more than 2,000 videos, were made public on Friday. With this disclosure, years of secrecy, speculation, allegations, and political controversy have once again come to the forefront. Among the names appearing most frequently in the released materials is former and current U.S. President Donald Trump. His name is mentioned hundreds of times across various documents, emails, and communication records. While the presence of a name does not constitute proof of criminal wrongdoing, the scale of these references have raised renewed questions. Notably, these documents were scheduled to be released much earlier. Instead, they were made public nearly 6 weeks after the deadline set under a law signed by President Donald Trump. The delay has prompted further questions regarding why the release was postponed and what type of review or revisions took place during that period. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche stated that the release of the documents marks the completion of a lengthy and complex review process. According to him, the primary goal was to ensure transparency for the American public while complying with the law. He emphasized that each document was carefully examined to protect public interest. A substantial portion of the materials focuses on Epstein's time in federal custody. These records include mental health reports, psychological evaluations, and observations of his behavior while incarcerated, as well as a detailed timeline of the days and hours leading up to his death. Epstein's death has been surrounded by mystery from the beginning. Although it was officially ruled a suicide, many questions remain unanswered. The released documents once again highlight failures in prison security, malfunctioning surveillance cameras, and negligence by responsible officials. The records also indicate that Epstein was under extreme mental stress prior to his death. At the same time, some reports suggest that he was preparing for a legal defense. These contradictory findings have reignited public debate. Another significant component of the released documents concerns Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's close associate. Numerous previously confidential investigatory records related to Maxwell have now been made public. She was convicted of assisting Epstein in the trafficking of underage girls. The documents include Maxwell's communication lists, travel records, and details of meetings with influential individuals. These records illustrate how extensive and powerful the Epstein network was. Among the most explosive revelations are emails exchanged between Epstein and various powerful figures, including politicians, business leaders, and media personalities. These emails contain personal invitations, travel arrangements, and, in some cases, language and implications that have raised suspicion. Following the release of these emails, questions have intensified over whether Epstein was merely an individual criminal or part of a broader and highly influential network. Many analysts believe the documents could pave the way for further investigations. The repeated appearance of Donald Trump's name has triggered renewed political controversy. His supporters argue that name references alone do not prove guilt, while critics contend that the disclosures demand deeper scrutiny. Legal experts note that the release of documents does not mark the end of legal proceedings. Instead, it may serve as the starting point for new investigations, witness testimonies, and potential cases. Public interest in the disclosures has surged. Across social media platforms, every detail, every name is being analyzed, debated, and questioned. Many are asking whether all relevant information has truly been released, or whether some portions remain undisclosed. History suggests that elements of the Epstein case have consistently remained unknown. The release of these documents has raised serious questions about the U.S. justice system, political institutions, and structures of power. The public is now waiting to see whether these revelations will lead to meaningful change or gradually fade from attention. Although Jeffrey Epstein is no longer alive, the shadow he left behind continues to loom over the centers of power in the United States. Following the release, the most pressing question has been why such a vast amount of information was kept secret for so long. Investigative sources cite the sheer volume of materials as a reason for the prolonged review process, while critics argue that political pressure played a significant role. Many documents contain information that may not directly prove criminal activity, but point to abuse of power, exertion of influence, and interference with the justice system, issues that are now at the center of public discussion. Portions of Epstein's personal diaries and notes have also been released, revealing his regular contact with influential individuals. These records include names, phone numbers, travel plans, and personal remarks.